What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Let's Play Fire Emblem. Today we have Chapter 10, The Distant Plains. Things are starting to kind of heat up a little bit here. Partly because, well, Lens Mode, this is the last mission of Lens Mode. We're just about done here. Lundgren. It's just about time to face off against, not the face of all evil, but our current rival, I suppose. That's some invigorating music we got going on here. It's kind of unfortunate that we have to take on, like, so many Kalen soldiers, but it actually... It really is unfortunate, isn't it? Because, like, once we win, we're just, like, weakening our forces. Okay. So, let's see here. Wow, 13 units available? I guess I should deploy Will. Don't need Urk. Don't need Dorcas. I'm mostly deploying people who have things to sell. Or is holding equipment of some description. And Wallace is just a meat shield. Actually, I should have probably given his vulnerary to Matthew, but whatever. I could do that now, but it's really not worth it. It's not going to make a big deal. So let's take a look at the map here. We got this guy who's probably just going to come at us from the south. We got a knight defending Lundgren who has 14 defense. Holy jeez. He's a level 5 general. General being a promoted knight. I guess we kind of already knew that though, because Wallace is a general. How much? 26 attack? Holy jeez. So, even Wallace is going to be taking 9 damage from that, which is ridiculous. If you look at someone like, say, Matthew? Well, okay, he'd only be taking 20. Miles would die in a single shot. Lucius would die in a single shot. You get my point here. Although that's with a Silver Lance, which does have 14 attack, whereas his Javelin only has 6. Anyways, we'll get into that more later. We got a couple vendors down here. Well, a vendor and an armory. So I guess it's a good thing I saved my heal staves, because the vendor's all the way down there. So anyways, let's rearrange our formation a little bit. Sane should be up front. Florina, let's put you down there. Sarah. Will in the back. Matthew. That seems good. So, let's get this party started. Let's just take this guy out straight off with Florina. Okay, maybe that's not the best idea, actually. Or how about we do this? Sit her on the mountain. That way he's going to run up here, and ideally he's going to attack Florina from the river. So she's going to have a pretty substantial terrain bonus, whereas the river's not going to afford him any. Although that's not going to happen for a couple turns. Well, let's just ride on up there. There isn't really any reason to rush in this mission, so I am not going to do that. I do want these guys kind of keeping up with me a little bit. And I think that's good for now. pretty sure there's not any danger to that village down in the southeast. Rain. So rain basically just, it reduces the movement of your units. Oh, I can almost kill this guy with an iron sword. But it's not a big deal. So yeah, there's a few maps where it will be raining, and it hinders the movement of every unit on the map. Ooh, nice. A little bit of strength. That's good. Good. Good stuff. And I believe in particular it slows down mounted units more than ground units. But I could be mistaken in that. Let's try and play for Matthew. Actually, I was gonna give Matthew... No, I already gave him a sword. What does Wrath have now? Right, I distributed the swords, but I still have an Iron Lance, which I should probably give to Florina. So let's do that. Okay. Now, Matthew. He can take that archer, but he would be putting himself in the range of this mage. I don't... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yeah, no, he wouldn't be putting himself in range of that other archer, though. So I might as well do a little bit of damage, I guess. Trying to get through the forest here before it starts raining. I believe the rain begins on turn 3, I want to say. I'm not quite sure what that brigand is doing, honestly. He might be going for the village, but I just gotta keep an eye on him. I think as soon as he's down off the mountains, he should be pretty easy to take out. The main reason I didn't go after him previously was because he was standing on the mountains, which gives a 40% extra avoidance to him. Okay, and here is the rain on turn 3, just like I thought. Wow, that's a pretty big movement range reduction. I would like Florina to go straight for this village, honestly, but there's some archers about, so I gotta be a little wary. Hussein, yeah. So finish this guy off. It's kind of interesting the way having such a reduced movement range, what kind of effect it has on your strategy, because... Wow, he can only do 5 damage to this guy? He's got a pretty decent defense for a caster. It just means that every movement has to be a little bit more calculated, because you can't, like, compensate for mistakes quite as easily when you have to move so much further. Or not move further, but it takes so much more effort to move. Sarah hasn't really been getting any experience yet, but that's a problem that's going to be remedied soon enough. I guess this is a good time as any to mention my items, which I guess is, in truth, is probably something I probably should have mentioned a couple of episodes ago, really. But what I would like to point out is the fact that, just looking at, trying not to put anyone in this mage's range, it doesn't have to be. As I mentioned, this is the last episode of Lynn's chapter, and items actually don't carry over at all. So I've mentioned before that the characters that you get in this mode will... Oh, the rain's stopping. That's convenient. The characters that you get in this mode will eventually rejoin, and they'll maintain like their stats and their level and such. But their items are completely lost after this mission. They don't carry over at all. So stuff like the Monikati, it doesn't really matter at all if you break it. When you get Lynn back in Elliewood or Hector's mode, she just has another Monikati. And it's at full durability even. So that is pretty convenient. So don't worry about breaking your weapons. In fact, plan on doing it just to maximize your experience as much as you can. The one exception, however, to that rule is that... I guess I might as well attack this mage. Wow. Matthew actually has a pretty decent resistance, it seems like. Either that or this mage is just terrible. But the one exception to that the rule I just pointed out is the fact that... money. Money doesn't carry over like your gold. It doesn't carry over, per se. But what it will do is... at the end of this mode... Okay, well, hold on. Let's back up a second. When you do regain Lynn later on in the game, one of the items that she comes equipped with is a gem. So throughout the game, there are gemstones you can find, and their only real purpose is to sell. It's basically like opening a chest and saying, "Oh, you found 200 gold," or whatever. So that's basically what a gemstone is good for. And there are certain classes of them. There's, I think it's just red, blue, and white. Each one worth a... Wow. I didn't kill him. That's unfortunate. Each gem is worth a different amount of gold. And Lynn will come with a gemstone when you re-recruit her. What gemstone she comes with is determined by how much gold you have left over when you're done with Lynn's mode here. So it's not something that I'm going to pay particular mind to, but that is one thing that does actually carry over into whatever mode you choose to do next. I think let's actually go like this. Yeah. Kill you, and then Floriana should have nothing to worry about. Except for guys with axes and stuff, but there really aren't all that many not random, but regular enemies in this mission, are there? There are some reinforcements. Actually, there's reinforcements this very turn. I believe it's from this fortress. Cavaliers are going to start appearing for the next few turns. And the important thing to note about them is that they pop out... They're the kind of reinforcements that pop out on the enemy's turn. Meaning that they get to take action immediately, rather than popping out on your turn. And having to wait until you go to do anything. So, you gotta be a little bit careful about that, but... These forests, man, they get in your way. This is Kent. I look forward to getting new party members, so I don't have to keep confusing whether I'm using... It's Kent or Sane that I'm currently commanding. Oh, wow. She double attacked a mercenary with an iron lance, no less. That's cool. Okay, Lynn, you go up there. Want to keep my experience a little bit level, but I'm not like super paranoid about it. Honestly, being at level 12 at the end of Lynn's mode is pretty darn good. Anything around level 10 or so, I would say is pretty good. And the whole boss abusing thing that I've done a couple times is entirely unnecessary, really. I just kind of... I've mentioned a bunch of times how experience is a very kind of important commodity in this game because it's very limited. There's a finite amount of it, basically. Unless you're counting Niles, and to a lesser extent, healers, but... I I just tend to obsess over trying to maximize it because it is so rare. I guess it's not rare, but it's important. So just continue moving these guys down here. The idea here is that the main reason I'm moving these guys about is because I want to sell their stuff, basically. So the main reason why I want to sell their stuff is basically just because, ooh, she could finally kill a brigand in a single engagement with her iron sword. But I'm gonna go with the Monicati because the Cavalier's there. But the biggest reason I want to sell their stuff is just because I want to use that gold to buy new equipment. Bridges don't give an environmental advantage. Actually, let's move him down here out of the forest. Visit this village with Florina. All of us. I'm pretty sure they will vanish. It's not a question of they might. So anyways, as the lady mentions, that is an energy ring. It increases the strength or magic of whoever uses it permanently, which is pretty handy. Is anyone damaged other than the one on Lynn? Doesn't look like it. Let's actually go down around this way. So, the energy ring is a permanent stat boost item, and it's similar to the angelic robe it was called. And it's important to actually hold on to it. Not hold on to it, rather. Because as I mentioned previously, your items disappear after this battle, so it doesn't do you any good to hold on to it. You gotta use it now. So, there's only really one option for who to use it on, really. I mean, I guess you could use it on, like, Florina or Matthew, but... well, no, don't use it on Matthew. That's a bad idea. Basically, your options are probably going to be between either Florina or Lynn. More rain. So let's see. Lynn is on 8 strength and Florina's at 9. So, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be any great surprise that I'm going to be using it on Lynn. If for no other reason than she's an important character. So, once I dispatch these Cavaliers... oop, a little bit of damage. Not the end of the world, though. Can heal you right up. And Sarah's heal stats appear to be lasting almost exactly long enough to get us down to the vendor so we can buy her more. That is Kent. I'd really like Sane. Okay, well, what we're gonna do then is move these guys down, move Sane down a little bit. Niles, give Sane a double turn. And Sane, you can use your spear to smash down this snag. I use the spear because it does a little bit more damage than the sword. Sword does 5, lance does 7, so the lance killed the snag in a single shot, whereas the sword would not have. And now that I've done that, I can cross this river. So, get Wallace out here. What turn is this? This is turn 8, so there should be one more Cavalier coming out. And that should be it for reinforcements. You can't harm Wallace! And more rain. I'm pretty sure this rain never begins. Like, for the rest of this battle, it's just... For the entire remainder of the battle, it flips between raining and not raining every 3 turns, I want to say. Oh, nice. Critical hit. It's a good way to make up for missing your first attack. Okay, let's do this. I'm a little wary of putting Sarah there because I'm pretty sure it's in the path of that Cavalier there. Oh, but it's actually not. That's cool. If it was, I was just going to rescue Sarah with Florina here, but that's not something I have to worry about. So, gradually trudge my way across here. And Matthew, actually, let's go this way. I think without having to go through the forests, it might actually be a little bit quicker to go this way. Miles is actually level 5. That's pretty impressive. Oh, there's more reinforcements? I thought we were done. Oh well. As I mentioned previously, if you are planning on playing through Hector's mode rather than Eliwood's, which you can only do if you've already beaten Eliwood's mode, you should make a point of getting Niles to level 7 before the end of this mission. Because, once again, as I explained previously, that is one of the requirements to unlocking a bonus mission later on in Hector's mode. But you can only fulfill that requirement now. So, if that's something you care about, you should fulfill that requirement now. Before the end of this mission, anyways. Can I kill you with Florina? I can, wow. That's pretty impressive. Florina's a bit of a beast. Her defense could still use a little bit of work, but yeah. Her avoidance, I'm used to it being a little bit higher, but that's something that's just going to change over time. No one has especially high avoidance at this point in the game. This is Kent. He has some things to sell. So, wow, door keys are not worth much of anything, are they? Okay, and Sane, you just run over here. I want you to smash down that other snag. If you actually have an axe user, it's a good idea to hold on to that hammer. Hammers are basically an axe version of an armor slayer. I don't have it to look at now, but they do extra damage against armored units. So that can be pretty handy, especially if you have, say, a level 5 general you need to take care of. Lundgren's actually a surprisingly hard boss. Like, I guess looking at his stats it's not surprising, but he can be very tricky to kill. I mean, he has a ridiculous amount of defense, and his attack is similarly ridiculous. Let's see, Sane. Bash that snag. And we got ourselves a bridge. And I guess having sold to stuff Kent is kind of useless now. Wrath is similarly useless. Lucius, go. Sell your lightning tome. Move Matthew up a tad, although I kind of don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with him. Unless... do they sell armor slayers at the armory? I'm honestly not sure. Will's got to go all the way down to the armory to sell his stuff. Okay. So, what I'm kind of leading up to here is I'm going to be boss abusing Lundgren again, using the same methodology that I did against General Eagler. Actually, before I do that, I need to get Sarah some heal staffs. So, how much damage does he do with his javelin? Javelin has 6 attack, he has 12 strength, that's 18. Minus 4 is 14. Can I kill him with the Monikati? I can. So 14 plus 9 is 23, so there's no chance of Lynn dying here. Okay, so he's done for. Now then. Move Sarah up, even though she can't do anything yet. And Florina is going to retrieve some heal staffs for her. No, I don't want to buy vulneraries. Oh, well, it's just a single heal staff for now then. That's fine. So, I'm going to continue selling off all my useless equipment, and I'm going to boss abuse Lundgren in a similar manner to how I did against Eagler in the previous battle. Basically, I'm going to let Wallace soak up all the attacks from weapons until they're both broken. And while that's happening, Sarah's going to be healing him. And then once Lundgren's weapons are broken, I'm going to start attacking him with basically whoever can actually do damage to him until all of their weapons are broken. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. The important thing to note is that Lundgren has two weapons, as I mentioned before. One of which is a javelin, and the other is a silver lance. So the javelin has a range of 2, and the silver lance is extremely powerful, but it only has a range of 1. Pretty awesome music here, actually. So what we're going to be doing here is, well, apparently dodging his javelin. Which unfortunately, dodges don't actually reduce the durability at all. So it's still 20, but the point is, what we need to do is make sure that we are standing 2 squares away at first, and use up the durability on his javelin, and then move in and use up the durability on his silver lance. And the reason we have to do it that way is because, obviously, if we were using his silver lance, like if I had Wallace here, he would counterattack with the silver lance, I guess, but then if Sarah was standing here to heal Wallace, he would throw his javelin at Sarah and quite possibly, he wouldn't kill her, but harm her gravely. So that's what we're going to do. Give Sarah our heal staff. Lynn can move away and use her energy ring, which gives her 10 strength? Not too bad. Not too bad. So anyways, on with the boss abuse. Okay, so that was interesting. I've spent actually quite a long time doing that. A little longer than I expected. I'm up to turn 290, which is kind of ridiculous. But you may notice that I don't actually, I still have 4,500 gold left. And part of that's just because I got bored, and part of it's just because I just don't really feel like I need to go much further. So, all my main characters are up to about level 15. Niles even got up to level 16. What I ended up doing with him was just, basically every time anyone went, I would play for them, whether I want that other person to go again or not. So he's up to a pretty ridiculous level. He's basically never going to get hit by anything ever again. And Sarah's up to almost level 18, which is ultimately my main goal here. I'm more interested in getting my healer up to ridiculous levels than everyone else because, as I've explained previously, it's so much harder to level up healers. So take every opportunity to feed them as much experience as possible. Florina's level 15. Sane I could have actually gotten up to a ridiculous level just because he he's actually capable of piercing Lundgren's defense just with normal iron swords and iron lances, whereas everyone else needs either one of the items from the armory here, a hammer. Well, I don't have any axe users, but you can buy hammers, heavy lances, and armor slayers here. And heavy lances are the lance version of anti-armored unit weapon. So yeah, everyone's pretty much up to level 15. Lynn actually got some really good level ups. Wow, her speed is capped right now. That's interesting. And her strength, actually, I got 3 strength ups, which is pretty awesome. It's really made up for her early weakness. She's actually really strong now. I think... Yeah, she's almost as strong as Saint. Which I guess would mean that she could do damage with an Iron Sword to Lundgren now if I wanted to. Seer got pretty decent level ups. She got a few more points of magic, which is always good. Florina got pretty good level ups too. It was just kind of nice and even across the board for the most part. A little bit extra strength. Unfortunately, Saint's level ups were kind of bad. He mostly just got HP and not much else. Yeah, so he's not doing too great these days, but as long as he has lots of strength, he's always going to be fine. Anyways, now that that's done, I did break the Monikati, which was actually harder than I thought, because the problem with that is the Monikati has a 20% crit chance against him, and obviously critical hits are, well, they're most likely just going to kill him, so that was a bit interesting to try and break it, but at least it was almost done anyways. But time to take him out with an Armor Slayer, which is actually the only item in general that any of my guys actually still has equipped. So, considering I'm still at 4,500 gold, that should be a decent amount of, like a decent gem when Lynn rejoins. I think you have to have 5,000 to get a white gem, but, so I'm just a little short of that, which is kind of unfortunate. I guess if I really wanted to, I could sell this Armor Slayer, buy another Heal Staff, and get Sarah a little bit more experience, but obviously that's... At this point, I'm just sick of this level. You may have noticed that it was raining. After a certain point, the rain actually just stays around and doesn't go away anymore, so that makes moving around the map between the shops kind of annoying, but at least you can still do it. I am indeed. Raceman? Well, that's unfortunate. So how'd you get out exactly? Apparently everyone knew that he was being poisoned, and yet he still just kept eating the poison. It's a rather unfortunate state of affairs. Not even me? Oh, you made it. So, so is he dying? Well, I'm sure that she did die. In fact, we know that she did. She was killed by the... Was it the Talaver bandits? I don't know. Well, that was untrue. At least now she knows. Well, she's known for a while, but now she has a proper family again. It's a good point. Although I think there's probably some merit to spending her life living on the plains. Yeah, like Lynn says, yes. That's basically what I was thinking. Or you could keep on living, maybe, question mark? I'm pretty sure bravery doesn't have much effect on whether you can survive poison or not. I don't know. I guess I could be wrong. I mean, I guess there's always people talk about, people's will to live, carrying them through adversity and stuff like that. I don't know. No, I'm pretty much, you've said all there is to say already. Or he could die tomorrow and this is all just a big tease. I don't know, he's kind of old. I don't know if he can actually get out there. Sup? I mean, what else am I gonna do? Or what else is she going to do? I kind of find that a little hard to believe. Sup? What do you want? Well, that's nice. It's true. I'm pretty sure many people will be calling her Lindis from now on. Ha! 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 Really? Well, that's nice of you, even though I've, never used you at all. What about everyone else? Like, Wrath, and Urk, and Sarah, and Wallace, and, Matthew, and... Did I say Urk? And Lucius, and Dorcas. Is that all of them? Niles. Yeah, Niles, he's kind of important. Oh, so everyone else is staying with Lynn, but I'm leaving. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's only been like a month. Thanks? Well, you will. So, yay? And thus ends Lynn's mode. We get a little bit of a summary of each of the characters here. We see how many battles they fought, how many enemies they've killed, and kind of what happens to them afterwards, which is a little weird considering this isn't the end of the game, but whatever. One battle with Will. I'm pretty sure that's just, the forced battle. I guess it was bleh. The first time I played through the game before I accidentally deleted my save data, I used Will a little bit in the one battle where you get Dorcas, but I didn't end up doing that this time, so that's why his stats are a little bit different. Wait, what is this graphic in the background here? That doesn't look like anything I've seen. Well, that does, but not the one before it. I suppose I should probably be reading these, huh? I'm only kind of half reading them. Niles the Mysterious Musician. Summons to another land, huh? Hard-eyed mercenary. Wow. Wall fought in a lot of battles. He actually leveled up, even just from getting attacked. Like, every time you get attacked, you get 1 experience. And Wallace, 112 battles, that's a level right there. His stat growths were kind of bad, though. I mean, I guess it wasn't terrible. It was, like, HP, skill, luck, and resistance, I think? Which is kind of weird for a general, but whatever. She lost a fight? What does that even mean? I'm pretty sure losing a fight would mean she was dead and that would be a game over. Unless winning and losing a fight means something different than I thought. Which is certainly possible. It's just weird how this little sequence seems so final, and yet it's like... the game is only like a third done at best. Yes, please. No, thank you. Okay. Actually, now that I think of it, I said that death was final in this game, but I'm pretty sure if someone dies in Lynn's mode, they can actually still rejoin you later in Eliwood's mode. They just don't have the benefit of starting with good stats again. Now, what I want to say is that the effort that I put into boss abusing in Lynn's mode was a little bit ridiculous, and I'll be the first one to admit that. It's totally unnecessary, and my characters are like ridiculously strong at this point. But I think it's worth it, and the reason for that is you can take this data from Lynn's mode and, well, maybe not now, but I'm not sure how it works exactly. But if you you can take that data and kind of carry it over into a new okay. I guess the whole mode selection doesn't become available until after you actually beat the game, but if you start a new game after you beat the game, if you go to start a new game, you get to choose whether you want to start in Lynn's mode, Eliwood's mode, or Hector's mode. And what you can do is you can use a good save data from like a Lynn's mode clear, and you can take that and continue it into Eliwood's mode, say, and then if you beat Eliwood's mode, you can take that same Lynn's mode clear if you didn't overwrite it, and go into hard mode, or you can go into Hector's mode, and you can use that same clear data to kind of launch off into all these different modes. So if you do a really good job of leveling up your characters and all that stuff, it makes sense to keep that save file available, so you don't have to redo Lynn's mode over again and hope that things turn out well and stuff like that. But anyways, that's about it for today on Let's Play Fire Emblem. Tomorrow we begin in Eliwood's mode. So with that, I will see you then. Catch you later.